The Reddit title reads, Ladies, why be with someone who you think is going to freak if they find out about your past? Well, every girl you're going to be dating, guys, is going to have a past. It is going to have a past that's probably going to make you feel a bit uncomfortable. Um, but let's see what this lady has to say. Seriously, I don't understand it. I've seen posts, comments of people encouraging women to hide their past because they're afraid of their partner's reaction. I think that's very common that women will hide their past, especially if they're not proud of it. And even though a lot of women say, I am my own woman, I make my own decisions and I'm proud of what I've done, that deep down they know that if they have a crazy sexual past, they're going to keep it to themselves and they're going to try and wipe all evidence of it before they get into a long term relationship with a guy they want a long term future with. Um, so they definitely do hide their past, just like men hide things. I don't think men per se hide their sexual past. I think they're pretty open to it, and their past probably isn't too crazy either because men do struggle to find sexual partners compared to women who find it quite more easy. But men probably hide their past in regards to embarrassing things they've done, maybe their finances, maybe their failures in life, just like women do. But it's a little bit different when it comes to sexual past. Now, granted, I get men have past too, but women tend to be judged more harshly. Yeah, that's just how it is. That's just life. You can't change that viewpoint. That is society. That is just human nature, really. It is viewed worse when it comes to women having their sexual history, because firstly, it is more easier for women to sleep with a man. So it's up to the woman to be a bit more picky, be a bit more selective. And if a woman's not picky and selective and she's just opening her legs for any guy, it's going to make guys feel a bit icky. Like nobody wants to get married to the town bicycle, so to speak. Ideally, you want a woman who, yeah, she's probably going to have a sexual past because she's an adult. But I think men value a lot if they're a bit more selective, if they take their time with a man and they sleep with men because they're in a relationship. That's much more understandable over someone who has 20 plus digit notch count. If you're afraid that your partner is going to react badly, why be with them in the first place? Yeah, that's a difficult one. Now, what's this reaction going to be? Is this going to be a reaction from a guy who's going to lose his shit and throw things across the room and be physically abusive to her? Obviously, that's not good, and you should never have that reaction as a guy. But does she mean a bad reaction as in he's going to take it badly and maybe view her less or be a bit more cautious? Because I think that's completely natural, that's completely valid. And you don't want to be in a relationship and hide certain things from your past because that makes you who you are. That's your true self. And to hide that from a partner means that you're starting off your relationship on a really creaky foot, and that's going to be unstable going forward. So you do need to be open about your past. And I know it's difficult. You might not say it in the first few months of your relationship, but you got to build up to it because you should care about that other person. And if you care about that other person, you'll be open and honest with them, no matter how difficult it is. I understand it's difficult, but it's a conversation you've got to have. Now, do you have to say, oh yeah, on this year I had sex with these two guys and this is what happened, this is how big his dick was, this is what we did, this is where we did it? No, you don't have to go into that minute detail. But if you've had a threesome or a foursome or a train ran on you, you have to be honest about your boyfriend about that. You have to. No matter how difficult it is, the guy might be okay with it. The guy might be turned on by it. I doubt it, but yeah, you can't keep those things to yourself because in the long term, he won't trust you, and it's gonna have repercussions down the line. It's better to say it now than leave it a couple of years down the road where things get even worse and there'll be a lot of emotions involved. I'm not saying you have to spill everything out and you are due your privacy, but again, if you think your partner is going to freak if they find out, why be with them? Why not find someone who isn't going to freak? All men are going to feel disgusted by it or repulsed. I honestly, genuinely believe that. Even the people who online will say, "Oh yeah, I don't care about my girl's past," whatever, we're all adults, etc. I think deep down they are repulsed by it. It's just how it is. You can't change a man's thinking. It's built innate inside of him. There's no getting around it. Um, and women know that. Again, that's why they keep it to themselves. I guess I just don't understand why try and build a life with someone and simply hope they never find out. Well, that's the first coherent point this person has made. Yeah, you can't have a long-term relationship with someone hiding a lie, hiding a part of your past. Withholding information is a form of lying, guys. It is a form of lying. So yeah, this is why you need to be open and honest very early on in your relationship or in the dating phase, because your partner has a right to know. We have one comment here. Let's look at a couple of comments. People want people they like to like them desperately. Yeah, well, yeah, you are going to hide parts of your past that you're not, you're ashamed of. And again, women know it's a bad look if they sleep with a lot of men. What's the first thing a woman says to a fellow woman when they're arguing or they're falling out? They call the other person a 304. That's like that's what they say. Ever since high school, I remember that being thrown about against between women. They don't say, "Oh, you're overweight." Now they do usually get onto that point, but before calling a woman overweight or calling her the C word, they'll call her a 304. That's the first thing a woman says to another woman when they're arguing. So even they know it's a bad thing. Even they know that sleeping with multiple men is a bad thing. To be honest, I think being open about your past is a good thing. Absolutely. Just let dirty laundry hang out to dry, and if someone can't accept it, then that's it. Granted, if someone doesn't accept it and you go, it's in the past, it doesn't matter, then I think you are being selfish. We've actually got some pretty valid comments here, which is surprising on Reddit. I don't know if these are guys or women posting these comments, but yeah, that's very valid. If you have part of your past and the person doesn't want to accept it, then hey, that person wasn't right for you and you'll find someone who does accept your past. It's as simple as that. Happens to be when my ex-wife told me after 11 years that her behaviours were because she used to work as a prostitute a few years before we met. That's wild, yeah. If a woman was a prostitute in the past, she better tell you very early on. And she knew that was going to have a bad reaction. But to let the guy marry you and to know you have that past, that's criminal. And you should take her to court for that and get some money from that situation because that is absolutely criminal. That is a lie beyond a lie. This has been my take on this issue in 100% of cases. I'm a guy, but I wouldn't want to live a lie in order to have someone to like me. If I'm not being honest or feel like I can't be honest, it isn't they like me. I'm not sure why anyone would want to be liked so badly that they're willing to play a character. Yeah, that facade will slip after a while and you'll feel exhausted to try and be someone you're not, to try and hold a lie from your partner. The mask will always slip, so it's better to be open and honest early on. Let's read one more comment. You'll never know the exact past of the person you're dating, smiley face. Yeah, you never will, and that's a tough pill to swallow. When you're asking a guy to marry a woman, you're basically saying, hey, all that past that you don't know about, you got to accept it. And that is a rough decision for a guy to make, to have that long-term commitment, to commit to a woman, but deep down you don't know her past, and you also deep down know she probably has a past that you're going to be uncomfortable about, which will make you feel repulsed by her. And that's rough. And I'm not saying that's the reason why we're seeing a decline in marriages. I think we all know the reason for that is mainly economically. Men can't afford it, and also divorce can destroy you financially. So I think that's the big thing, is around money. Secondly, it's probably due to there's just not enough good women out there, and again, women are going to view the same for men as well. They're going to say there's not enough good men out there, And thirdly, I think it is just this like this not knowing about someone's past and thinking they're probably being told a lie, basically. So I think that's probably the third thing as to why marriage and long-term relationships are just declining now. But in conclusion, yes, ladies and guys, you've got to be honest about your past. Ladies, you've got to be honest about your sexual past. Men, you've got to be honest about if you're in debt from a failed business or a criminal record. I don't know. I don't think men hold too many lies, do they? But they do like to try and make out there's someone they're not. But I think that's all down to self development. I'm not proud of who I was, 4 or 5 years ago, but I went through some self development and I'm the best version of myself now. And I'm happy I had those bad experiences in the past because it made me the person I am today. God, I sound like a woman, don't I? Anyways, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.